Frontier Airlines announcing today passengers are now allowed to buy an empty seat in an attempt to social distance. CNBC airline reporter Phil LeBeau has the CEO of Frontier Airlines, Barry Biffle, this evening. Phil?
Scott, thank you. Barry joins us from Denver International Airport, which is the hub airport, the home airport for Frontier Airlines. Barry, we want to talk about the more room seats, the purchasing of an empty seat in just a little bit. But first, give me a sense of what you're seeing in terms of demand right now. It bottomed out, a couple weeks ago? Where do things stand right now?
Sure. Thanks for having us on, Phil and Scott. So we bottomed out a few weeks ago. To put things in perspective, prior to this, we would carry about 80,000 passengers a day, and we got down to about 3,000 passengers a day just a few weeks ago. But I'm really pleased. Yesterday and now again today, we're going to carry over 10,000 passengers.
So you're obviously seeing at least a little bit of an uptick. It's hard to call it a rebound at this point. But let's talk about the more room seat promotion, if you will. And maybe promotion is not the right word. But the bottom line is this. If I'm flying on Frontier and I want to make sure that there's nobody sitting next to me, I can buy the next seat for $39. Already, and you've probably seen some of this already, Barry, there's people on social media saying, wait a second, you're putting a price on safety. Why not just give these seats away or guarantee that the middle seat is empty?
So let's take a step back. So over the 6 weeks ago, we started cleaning our aircraft and fogging our aircraft with this new process that kills the virus on contact. We introduced our employees wearing masks several weeks ago. We introduced a health certification for all of our customers to verify they haven't had symptoms and no one that's been around in the last 14 days have. And now we just recently, last week, announced that we would require all customers to wear facial coverings. And we believe that those are the things that we need to do, and that's the recipe to keep you safe. But we've talked to customers, and many people have, more concerns and some anxiety, and so they want even more, kind of peace of mind. And so we introduced this product to guarantee the middle seat. And so we don't believe this is what you need to be safe, but it's just one more thing that we can do to put people's mind at ease.
Have you had pushback from customers? I mean, have you had customers who have said, come on, really, $39 to guarantee an empty seat?
Actually, we haven't had pushback at all. In fact, every time we've introduced more things, we've seen an overwhelming response. We've seen some of the negatives, but we've got people coming in going, oh, how do I guarantee this? Because we're the first airline. Many people have suggested and many people have gotten open seats around them. But no one's guaranteeing that, especially out into the future. And this guarantees them, so it gives them peace of mind. And so for $39, on top of our very low fares to begin with, you'll still spend less money than you will on most of the big guys.
Barry, you saw some of the comments from Warren Buffett over the weekend. He essentially said, look, the airline business is dead in the water 3 to 5 years. That's how long he thinks it'll take until we see the level of traffic that we saw in 2019. Do you disagree with what he's saying? Do you think that it'll take less than 3 years for you to get back to where you were last year?
Well, I think he said he hoped he was wrong, and I hope he's wrong as well. But I understand some of his moves. And look, international long-haul travel is probably not coming back for a while. Business travel, as a segment, will probably be the last segment to come back. So I understand, and I don't envy those big carriers in the position they're in. But I will make 2 points. One, he did say don't bet against America. And I agree with that. And that's what Frontier and our people are all about. And the second thing is, for decades, Warren Buffett has talked about building a sustainable, durable advantage. And Frontier went into this with the lowest cost in the industry. And we believe that net of interest and everything else, when we come out, we'll have an even greater cost advantage versus our peers. And so we feel really good about our advantage, our sustainable, durable advantage. And so I think that Warren Buffett would agree that our positioning is a little different than maybe some of those other carriers.
Barry, paint a picture for me of Denver International Airport. And by that, I mean, what do you see when you're walking around on the inside? Is everybody wearing a mask? Because one of the points that I've heard back from some people is, look, I'll wear a mask on an airplane, but I'm not going to walk around an airport. I'm not going to go through security with a mask. Are you seeing people complying with wearing a mask, or is it a little bit here, a little bit there, and then when they get on the plane, they put on the mask?
So you got to remember, Colorado was one of the states that got hit early. So I think there's probably a little bit better participation in these types of measures. We haven't started the mask program. It starts for Frontier on Friday, the face coverings. But Denver International itself is now going to require it to enter the airport starting Wednesday. So we'll see what happens. But I will tell you, Phil, you see the majority of people have masks on right now. And I think it's just people have figured it out. It's the smart thing to do. And if we're going to open the country back up, I mean, I just saw the segment on Dr. Gottlieb just earlier. And if we're going to open it back up and not social distance as much, then everybody needs to have a facial covering on. I think it's a small sacrifice for us all to turn the economy back on and keep everyone safe at the same time.
Scott?
Barry, I have a question for you quickly, and I thank you for being here this evening. Why not just leave the middle seats empty until there's a vaccine, just to make sure that everybody has the same treatment as it relates to their health and their well-being?
Well, originally, we didn't think we would need to do any of these. We think that with the steps that we've taken, that you're safe on Frontier. This is just one more way to offer an option. But look, if you want to block a third of the seats, that's going to cause airfares to rise. And I think, look, we believe you're safe. And Scott, I welcome you. Come out. I'll fly with you tomorrow. You and I can sit next together as long as we're both got a face covering. I think it'll be just fine.
You think I'm fine sitting in a row of 3 people as long as we're all wearing face coverings? Our heads are literally a foot and a half to 2 feet at the most apart.
I believe so. I believe so. If you're wearing a facial covering, one more little tip for you, and this has been something that's been out for years. Make sure you turn the vent on right above you and put fresh air that's coming from a filtration system in the filter, and that helps as well. But yes, Scott would be safe. So Phil, Scott, let's all go get on a plane. We'll do it tomorrow. I'll sit in the middle. So it'll work out.
Barry, I appreciate you being here. Phil, thanks for bringing us this interview.
You bet.